Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons. Make sure to subscribe and let's get into it, guys. So update 2.27215, they finally added the new battle ratings. So very cool. Let's take a look on that. But first, we have some locations that have been updated as well. You can pause it and take a look. It's not a very big thing, but it will help on the thing that they were talking about on the economy updates, right? Basically changing the way that some maps are in ground battles to actually help a little bit with balance, with just to be a little bit more fair in general, you know. So yeah, very cool. You can take a look on that. And they basically changed a little bit of the rolling resistance for some of the ground types for tracks and wheels as well. So they can see rolling, friction influences gaining speed and limits maximum speed on weak ground surfaces, ground types. Rolling resistance of tracks and wheels on steppes and meadows has been significantly reduced. Rolling resistance on weak ground types such as untouched snow or sand dunes has been increased for wheeled vehicles. So it made it a little bit harder for in snow and dunes for wheeled vehicle, and a little bit easier for these steppes and meadows, you know, for tracks and wheels as well. So very interesting. So let's take a look on the BR changes. So yeah, as you see, it didn't change much. In the aircraft, we can see clearly the F-104J over here, and in tanks, they actually added some of them, like the MatAWGs and M48s that I didn't mention in the last video because I was before that. So they added some of the tanks over here. Let me know in the comments if you want to see some gameplay of tanks in these BRs to try to test a little bit how the new BRs are, you know, shaping, because there's a lot of new, just not new tanks, but in general the new ways that everything will going to be in the matchmaking, basically, especially for World War II vehicles lower than like a 6.0, 6.3 maybe, but 6.0, 5.7, something like that, it will be a lot better, I would say, because for example 6.3 for example will no longer see these tanks, for example, an M47 or something like that, right? And a BMP with ATGMs. So it makes sense, right? And then the last thing that I wanted to show over here before we go to the game is this little thing, the data mines made by Ajude. Thank you, Ajude, for always doing this type of thing. You can see that there are some changes over here. So physics changes, the ones that we talked about it there on the frictions and stuff. So here it is. New RWR SPO15LM. I'm pretty sure this is the Beriosa, the RWR for the SU25BM. So yeah, there is that. Changes to the reload rates of some of these T-54 kind of, you know, tanks that they already were going to be added with the new battle ratings, right? Some changes to ammunition, some changes to the calibers and stuff with some cannons over here. As you see, you can pause it and take a look. The RBS 55 ATGM, change it for the RB55B, so it's a new missile, I'm pretty sure. So a bigger lifetime, different speeds, you know, just a different version of the missile. And they added the RB55C for it. New vehicles, obviously. We have the 4 new summer event vehicles. Actually, 1, 2, Dupli, French. What is this? New cruiser for the French. Interesting. Where is this coming from? Anyway, the BR changes, as you see over here, they're all basically here, you know. So the arcade, the realistic, everything, the BRs of the tanks and everything. So, and then some economy changes as well. The Wolfpack received the AIM-900, which is pretty cool. Some other changes to prices and stuff because of modification changes to the tanks that got the new the ammunitions and stuff. So for example, they added the new HTFS for the T-54-49, right? The -2. So of course they changed the prices for the modifications because it has another modifications for you to get, right? So there's that. New decorations for the summer event. Tech 3 icons, some stat card changes, new stat cards, new menu texts, Let's see. Yeah, nothing too crazy, but yeah, pretty cool. Let's go to the game now so that you can actually see the difference. For example, one of them, arcade battles, Yak 38 is at 9.3. You can already see that it's working, the changes, right? You already are added. For example, T54 49 has the heat round over here. Pretty interesting. I think an aircraft that was pretty interesting to be like in a lower BR is the F-104J. It wasn't too big of a change, in the sense of aircraft. But yes, finally the F-104J has a lower BR. It doesn't have the flares and chaff, so it makes sense. I wonder why the J is actually that BR, but the F-104G still is 10.7. It doesn't make sense because they're pretty much the same aircraft, right? So I hope this one gets a lower tier as well. Of course, having it in 10.7, something that has the flares, it's okay, but something that doesn't have it doesn't make much sense, right? So yeah, and you can see the tanks over here, they got a new BR. You can see all the new BRs over here. So very, very cool, guys. Very, very cool. Hopefully it it improves, especially the World War II vehicles in certain BRs, and hopefully they do more changes like this, decompressing the BR upwards, a little bit for tanks. And for aircraft, of course. So yeah, that would be very, very cool. But anyway, BR changes are here. Hope you enjoyed, and make sure to leave it in the comments. Do you want to see some gameplay of tanks or anything like that showing the new BRs? Let me know in the comments. I might do some gameplay with aircraft in the BR changes like the F-104J, but I'm not sure yet because it doesn't like majorly change it. So I will see what I do, right? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, and bye. See ya.